Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Virtual College Exploration for all North and South Carolina students, sponsored by the Carolinas Association of Collegiate Registrars and Admissions Officers, more commonly known as CACRAO, and our partner StriveScan. Thank you so much for joining us. A few housekeeping announcements before we get started. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. Your camera and microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. And this is just one of the many sessions that are happening. To check out some more, go to CACRAO.org. This presentation is being recorded and will be available in about a week with the same website, CACRAO.org. I'd like to now turn it over to our presenters. Thank you so much, Christopher Newport.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And good morning to everyone joining us. I am thrilled to be able to share some information with you about Christopher Newport University. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up my PowerPoint here. We will kick things off. So my name is Sasha Keurig. I am one of the assistant directors in the Office of Admission at Christopher Newport University, and I am all of your admission officers. I represent all of the students who attend high school in both North and South Carolina. So should you choose to apply to Christopher Newport, I'll be the person working with your application. Now you know who I am. I'm looking forward to spending a little bit of time today sharing some basic information with you about both the academic and social life on campus, as well as talking a little bit through the application process. Please feel free to chat in questions at any point in time. I will most likely answer most of them live for you, as it's just me here today. But again, I'm really available to answer any and all questions that you have. So jumping right into things, Christopher Newport University is one of the public liberal arts and sciences universities located in Newport News, Virginia. So we're located right in between Williamsburg and Virginia Beach, so beautiful coastal area. We're about 2.5 hours south of Washington, D.C., and about an hour outside of Richmond for reference. In total, we have about 5,000 students on our beautiful residential campus. And that 5,000 includes our graduate population. We only have about 200 graduate students on our campus, which means we're very focused on that undergraduate experience. You're not competing with those graduate students for opportunities for research or to work with your faculty. And we're really making sure all of the university's resources go to your 4 years with us. Now, thinking a little bit about the academic experience at Christopher Newport, because that's what you're coming to college for, we offer about 90 areas of study for you to choose from, everything from business and engineering to philosophy and the performing arts. Our programs are broken down into 3 colleges and 1 professional school. Our students do tend to take classes across all of these areas because of our liberal arts and science foundation. Being a liberal arts institution is a huge part of our identity at Christopher Newport, so I want to explain a little bit about what that means to us. So what it means is that when you graduate, we want to make sure that you are not only an expert in your chosen major, but that you're able to speak knowledgeably about a wide range of topics, and you leave us with a broad set of skills that you understand how to apply in your chosen area. We do this because we know that most people change jobs at some point in their life, and we want to help you be prepared for that. We also want to make sure you're prepared for jobs in industries that don't even exist today. And so by helping you build foundational skills and then helping you to understand how to apply those within your chosen career field and in your areas of study, you'll be better prepared to be successful no matter what type of career you go into after college. Now, in order to help you build these foundational skills, we do have a core curriculum that you follow during your time with us. That does not mean that there's a specific English, math, history, science class you have to take, but there are broader requirements, once again, to help you build those skills and then learn how to apply them in different ways. For example, our students are required to take a foreign language at some point to help give you that global perspective to be ready for this global market that we're in. All students will take an introductory writing course earlier on, and then an additional one in either their junior or senior year. But it's not necessarily just going to be writing for the sake of writing. We try and help you find that are classes that are more applicable. For example, we have a writing course specific to grant writing, perfect for students in STEM majors so that you're able to procure funding later on for research projects that you may be working on. Now, many of you may be thinking this sounds great, but I'm not exactly sure what I want to study right now, and that's perfectly okay. Our students don't officially declare a major until their sophomore year with us. If you know what you want right now, that's fantastic. You are ahead of the game. You're welcome to jump right into those classes starting your freshman year. But if you're unsure about what you want or debating between programs, just know that when every student starts at Christopher Newport, you're assigned a faculty core advisor. That's an upper level faculty member who's trained, one, to help you make that transition into the collegiate academic environment, but also there to help you explore all of our 90 programs, take advantage of the different opportunities on campus, and help you figure out what combination of programs is best for you. Most of our students will study multiple areas. It's very common to have double majors and double minors. There's a lot of flexibility within our curriculum on purpose to allow you to really personalize your education and make the most of it. One of the things that's important to the Christopher Newport academic experience is making sure you're able to build strong relationships with your professors. We want to make sure you're able to do this because by building good relationships, your faculty are able to serve as a better resource and a better mentor. They're able to recommend other classes that you might be interested in, study abroad programs, or help you secure those internships that you'll be needing. Faculty take a really hands-on approach on our campus. You'll spend a lot of time with them, not only in the classroom, but you'll see them all around campus, eating in the dining halls, taking advantage of the sporting events and theater performances. They want to see you outside of class and outside of just office hours, again, so that they can get to know you as an actual person and really be there to make sure you're making the most of your 4 years with us. One of the reasons it's so easy for our faculty to do this is through our small class sizes. As you would expect at a smaller institution, we do work to keep things pretty small. About 60% of our classes have 19 or fewer students in them. And on the flip side of that, the largest classroom on campus has 100 seats in it. Only 3% of our classes have more than 50 students. So it's very rare to have a class where you're going to be in a larger lecture hall. Even most introductory classes are only about 30 to 35 students. So still a very manageable number, allowing you to get to know your professors and your peers in the classroom. So that's a brief overview of some of the main academic pieces at Christopher Newport. Again, I invite you to chat in any questions if you have specific programs that you're interested in, majors that you're looking to study. I'm happy to talk a little bit more in depth about them should you have any questions. But continuing on, we want to make sure that you are able to enjoy your time with us, not just in the classroom, but outside of the classroom. We have an incredibly busy campus. Our students tend to be very involved in a lot of different things. We have over 200 clubs and organizations, which is a huge amount for a smaller school like us. Everything from Division III athletics to religious clubs, academic clubs, community service groups, Greek life, musical groups, and then what we call special interest clubs, are basically meaning clubs just for fun that don't fall into another category. I think one of my favorites is known as Nu Gamma Gamma, the Chicken Nugget Appreciation Club. Now, how something like that is supposed to help you in life, I have no idea, but it's a great way to make some friends, either new friends or just hang out with people you've already met in different areas on campus. But all joking aside related to getting involved and having fun on campus, we want to make sure that you're really able to add to your academic experiences outside of the classroom and maybe just for fun. So while it's not required, most of our students will take advantage of things like study abroad, internships, or undergraduate research during their time with us. Undergraduate research is definitely a huge part of the CNU experience. Again, because there are so few graduate students on our campus, undergraduates starting freshman year have the opportunity to work with our Office of Undergraduate Research and Creative Activities to find research projects that they may be interested in. If you're not sure what you want to be doing, that office can help you every step of the way. They have you fill out profiles about your interests, as well as all the faculty do, so they're able to match you with faculty who are conducting research that you may be interested in. They're also able to help you secure your own funding and do a faculty supervised research project. So many of our students who complete research are published authors or have presented at national or international conferences by the time they graduate. Now, study abroad is also a very popular opportunity on our campus. Of course, this year makes things a little bit different, but in a typical year, we have both short-term and full semester programs that go. We have about 24 of CNU-owned programs run by our own faculty, And then we partner with other institutions and organizations to help provide about 100 different programs for you each year so that you can get out and explore the world and continue to study the things that you are passionate about. Now, of course, internships are also an important part of the experience for many students. We have an incredible Center for Career Planning that has free services for both students and alumni, everything from how to write a cover letter, how to review you practice your interviewing skills, review your resume. They host a job and career fair every semester, and they're also able to help you find on-campus jobs during your time as a student. But again, all these services available to you even after you've graduated. You're a captain for life when you come to Christopher Newport. So if you ever need a little career guidance, just know that the CCP is available to you. Now, with all these things happening on our campus, we of course need to make sure you have a great place to do your homework and rest your head at the end of the night. Most of our students do live on campus with us. It's required for your first 3 years. So through your junior year, it's optional for seniors. About half of seniors will choose to stay on campus. Freshmen and sophomores all live in suite style housing, so the 2 bedrooms connected by a bathroom. And upperclassmen are typically in apartment style housing that have anywhere from 2 to 6 bedrooms, private bedroom, private bathroom, fully furnished, washer and dryer in the unit. They are incredibly nice, and our students love to be able to stay on campus and take advantage of all of these. Now, with all of these things going on and everything I've talked about so far, I haven't talked about the most important thing to understand the Christopher Newport experience. We are a community that genuinely cares about one another. We look out for one another. We care about each other. And I know that that sounds really corny, and I know that that may not be the top of the list of things that, or what you're looking for in a college, but we like to say that we're a compassionate community. I always say that our students choose to collaborate versus compete against each other. We like to joke that we're a community of door holders, in the sense that we will physically hold the door open for you, no matter how far away you may be and how long we have to wait. But it's not the act of just physically holding the door open. It really is just the idea that we care about each other. We want to support each other in any way possible, whether that be helping your friends study for a test, going to support your friends' theater performances, going to fundraisers on campus, or simply holding the door open for someone and saying hello to them. You will find a supportive community every day on our campus, always looking out for you. And within that sense of community, it's important to take advantage of and really kind of embody our motto, which is lead a life of significance. And what that means is that we want you to see your education as a tool that's going to allow you to give back to your community and make a positive impact in some way. Service and leadership are a huge part of the Christopher Newport experience. While doing service work or taking on leadership roles is not required of you, service is just really part of the DNA and the culture of our campus. Almost every single academic program and organization on campus has either local philanthropies or national programs that you can get involved with to give you a chance to get involved in our local community. The Newport News area has given so much to our campus and allowed us to thrive as a university. And so we want to make sure we're giving back to the area and also helping you to develop your leadership skills while giving back to the local community. So leading a life of significance is a huge part of who we are. So that's the brief overview of Christopher Newport. Again, I welcome any questions that you may have about things like this. I have a question coming in asking about whether we have a pre-med program. We do have an incredible pre-med opportunity for our students if you're interested in any of the medicine fields. And it works very similar to actually our pre-law program, so I'll talk about both. Basically how it works is, in addition to that advisor I was talking about, you also have someone either in pre-med or pre-health who's there to make sure you're taking advantage of opportunities on campus to make you a competitive candidate for graduate programs through things like internship, research, but they also run seminars each semester where they'll bring in upperclassmen students to talk about what they've been learning and what they would do to prepare differently to apply to those graduate programs. They'll bring in people that work in law and in medicine to talk about the career opportunities, help you with interview prep, and help with prep for the tests like the LSAT or the MCAT that you may need. So some great resources available to you there along the way. So we're going to jump into the application process at this point in time. Now, just remember that all of this information is available on our website should you need anything. So where to start with this complicated process? We are a holistic review, which means there are no minimums, there are no cutoffs, there is no magic combination of grades, test scores, AP classes, volunteer hours. that gets you an automatic yes to the university. We look through every piece of information you provide to us to try and determine if we think you'll be successful and if we think you'll be a good fit for our community. So we're going to look through a lot of pieces of information when you apply to the university. First, when it comes to the application itself, we accept both the common application and the coalition application. Whichever you prefer is fine with us. We have 3 different application deadlines. We have early decision on November 15th, early action, the non-binding early way to apply, on December 1st, and our final deadline of regular decision on February 15th. We strongly recommend that you apply either early decision or early action. By applying through one of the early tracks, it will absolutely increase your chances of being admitted. It also puts you in priority consideration for our scholarship programs. So it is 100% to your benefit to apply through one of the early tracks. Most students choose to apply early action, so December 1st, you still have plenty of time, and you're notified about your decision about 6 weeks later on January 15th. So thinking about what this review process looks like for us, we're going to start with your academic records first. We're not too worried about your specific GPA because we know that every school calculates grades and GPAs a little bit differently. So what we'll be doing is really diving into your transcript and see what makes up that GPA that you've earned. We're going to look at the actual classes that you've been taking and look at the rigor or the level of them. So our hope is that you found some courses and subjects that you enjoy and you're strong in, and you've moved on to advanced levels of those courses in your junior and senior year. We really want to see progression over your 4 years in high school and see you work into a demanding and challenging schedule in your senior year to help you get ready for the challenges that you'll face in college. We of course hope you've been doing well in these classes as well. Our students are typically earning mostly A's and B's, but again, we're looking to see where you started as a freshman and where you've grown to in your senior year. Senior year grades are incredibly important to us. We want to see you staying focused in your senior year and working hard once again to prepare for college. Now we know that the past year academically has been a little bit different. Just know that there are many opportunities in the application to talk to us about what experiences you may have gone through in the last year. And we understand that it's been a challenge and we're willing to hear your stories in order to get a better understanding for why your grades are the way you are and how you've learned from that experience and how you're improving upon things that maybe didn't go so well at first. Now, when it comes to test scores, again, we know this has been a complicated year. So just know that Christopher Newport has been a test optional institution for almost 10 years. If you've had the opportunity to take the SAT or the ACT and you're proud of your scores, we are more than happy to receive them from you. But if you haven't taken the tests or you don't feel like your scores are a great representation of who you are, there's no minimum GPA requirement and you can still be considered for the scholarship programs, even if you choose to apply test optional. So you have that option available to you. Now, we're also going to look heavily at the other pieces of your application to learn who you are as a person. So we're going to look at things like your resume or an activities list, just to learn what kinds of things you've been doing in high school, how you might get involved in our campus, and what kind of experiences you can share with the other students in our area. We're just looking to know what you like to do in your free time. We also love reading your essay to learn what you have to say about yourself and what you want us to know about you. Letters of recommendation are not required, but definitely recommended. They give us an opportunity to learn more about you in and out of the classroom, hear a little bit more about what you're like as a person, and can give us greater context into your experiences in high school. Finally, the last thing that we recommend of all of our applicants is to have an admission interview. Interviews are required for our scholarship programs, and I'll tell you about those in just a moment, but we encourage everybody to interview with us. You do not have to wait until you've applied in order to have your interview. The interview process is already happening, both on campus and virtually. The interviews are a 30-minute conversation, and they allow you to sit one-on-one with a member of the admission committee and tell us exactly what you want us to know about you. So whether that's expand upon things that are already in your application or go over experiences that you've had that you haven't had the opportunity to address yet, it gives you a chance to talk with us about yourself, and it gives you a chance to ask us questions and make sure this is the school that you're really interested in. Again, interviews are already happening, but we recommend that you interview by December 15th in order to meet our priority deadline. Now, the last thing, of course, is scholarships, and I mentioned that the interview is a required piece to be considered for them. Our scholarships are tied to 2 academic programs, so you earn a scholarship through them. We have an honors program, which is great for students who want an enhanced academic experience and really love learning for the sake of learning. In the honors program, you'll take 1 honors seminar course each semester. The courses tend to be smaller, more discussion-based, and they all center around a topic that you'll discuss from multiple academic disciplines as opposed to just one. So it's kind of like a mini liberal arts curriculum rolled up into one class. It works with any major on campus, and you get to choose the honors courses that sound most interesting to you. The second and more popular of our scholarship programs is the President's Leadership Program, or PLP. This is definitely more unique to Christopher Newport. It's a leadership development program with both in and out of the classroom opportunities. So in the President's Leadership Program, you'll actually study leadership in the classroom, earn a minor in leadership studies, where you'll be looking at the history of leadership, different theories and styles, as well as theories on being a good follower, since not everyone can lead at all times. There's then a speaker series where each year we bring in 2 to 3 individuals from different career fields, just giving you the opportunity to hear, okay, I'm learning these theories in class, now how do they actually apply in the real world? And then finally, there's a service component to it. We want you out in our local community testing out your leadership skills. We'll help you find an organization that you can work with all 4 years so that you're able to move up within the organization and really do some good work within our community. By being involved in one or both of these programs, we offer scholarships that range from $1,000 to $10,000 per year, with most students earning scholarships between $2,000 to $5,000. The $10,000 scholarships are few and far between, and we'd like to be upfront about that. So most students earning around that $5,000 amount. Outside of those 2 main scholarship programs, we do have some more specialized scholarships. We have some in the field of the performing arts, pre-med, computer engineering, electrical engineering, and computer science are the main opportunities that we have for scholarships for incoming students. We do have some scholarships as well once you're on campus and already a student, but we do of course offer financial aid, with our average freshman package being about $13,000. Okay. So we have covered a lot of information here really quickly. That is all the basic information that I think you need to know at this point in time. What I would really love to do is once again open it up to questions. Should you have any, again, I've put my contact information now up on the screen, as well as all of our social media platforms. We would love for you to interact with us either virtually or in person. We are open for campus tours at the moment. They're individualized, so 1 family per tour guide. So you're not going to be with strangers at this point in time. And we are offering in-person interviews as well. But we're also offering a variety of virtual programming as well as virtual interviews if you're not able to make it to campus at this point in time. So let's see about any questions that we have coming in. A couple of questions. One asking about whether you can have a car on campus. Yes, freshmen and all of upperclassmen are welcome to have a car on their campus. It's not required, of course, that's a personal option, but all you have to do is have a parking pass. Luckily, though, in walking distance from campus are some grocery stores and some restaurants. So it's very easy to get around without having a car, and our campus itself is designed so that you literally cannot drive anywhere other than to a different parking lot that will put you no closer to anything on campus. So campus is really designed to be a very walkable place. Bikes are definitely very popular on our campus. Also getting a question about what the surrounding area is like if you haven't had the opportunity to come and visit our beautiful campus. So what I really love about the area is that Newport News is part of a group of 7 cities known as Hampton Roads, and each city is a little bit different and has kind of a different vibe to it. So I like that you get a lot of different options. Newport News itself, we're located in the residential area surrounded by lots of great restaurants and shops and things like that. We're about 4 blocks off the James River. We've got a couple of great local beaches about 10-15 minutes from campus for you to take advantage of. But then right next to us is Williamsburg with Colonial Williamsburg, Jamestown, Yorktown, Jamestown, Busch Gardens. I'm a huge fan of roller coasters, so we've got Busch Gardens right there. You've got Yorktown close by with the beaches, again, a lot of American history. But then on the other side of the water, you get the ocean front at Virginia Beach, about 35 to 40 minutes away. So you have the ocean front if you want that. And then Norfolk, has a really big kind of art scene, lots of museums, concert venues, theaters, things like that. So you have a lot of different things available to you in the area, available for you. So I definitely love taking advantage of all the different cities, and our students are always really able to enjoy that as well. Another question regarding what kind of traditions that we have on campus. And I love this question because Christopher Newport being a younger school, we don't have a ton of, we don't have as much history as some places, but that doesn't mean that we don't have traditions. And the fun thing is that our students are able to always start the traditions themselves. So you do find new ones cropping up every few years. I think some of the most popular ones that you'll hear about will be that we have quite a few that kind of bookend the start of your experience with us and then the end of your experience with us. When our freshmen come to campus, they move in a week early. We have a ceremony at the end of that called freshman convocation. It's where you sign our honor code, which is something that we take seriously at CNU. Again, it comes back to that community of compassion and looking out for one another. But after the ceremony, we have a big picnic out on the Great Lawn, out on the lawn that you can see in the background of this picture here. And in the corner of the Great Lawn, we have our bell tower that plays the fight song twice a day and rings every hour on the hour. And only twice in your career at CNU are you personally allowed to ring the bell. One of them is at freshman convocation, so kicking off your career with us at Christopher Newport, and the other is right after you've graduated at commencement at the end of your 4 years with us. We once again allow you to ring that bell, kind of bringing things full circle for you. And students always really look forward to getting that chance 4 years later to do that. Another really popular thing is an event called Light the Night. It happens right before the first night of classes each year. It is basically a big dance party out on the Great Lawn in the dark, full of glow sticks and glow in the dark clothing and things like that. We tend to like evening and glow in the dark things at CNU, I have noticed. It's run by our student council and really just kind of a way for us to kick off the semester each year, welcome everybody back to campus, welcome the new freshmen, and have a little fun before we buckle down the next day and get back to class. We also have a really popular event called Glow in the Dark Palooza. So again, more glow in the dark things. And it's an a cappella competition that takes place once a year in our 1,700 person concert hall. Again, all in the dark, black lights, glow sticks, glow in the dark things. So definitely a lot of fun there, but lots of different little things happening around campus as well. So great questions that have been coming in. Doesn't look like we have any more at this point in time. So once again, if there's anything else out there, I am happy to answer those questions for you, whether they be the big ones or the small ones related to academics, extracurriculars, because if not at this point in time, that is everything that I think that I need to share with you. So that means we're able to wrap up a little bit early here. Again, I welcome any final questions that you may have. But should you think of anything later on, you're welcome to contact me directly. Again, I've put my information up here for you. And so, yeah, I think that that's about it. And we're going to wrap everything up here. So I'm going to stop my screen sharing and I will turn things back over to our representative from CACRAO to kind of wrap things up.
Well, thank you everyone for joining us today. And thank you, Sasha from Christopher Newport. We appreciate having you here today. As soon as you close this screen, you will be directed to a link for a really quick 4-question survey. We'd appreciate any feedback you can provide. Also, this was just one of many sessions being hosted, so be sure to sign up for additional sessions at CACRAO.org. In about a week, you'll be able to find this session's recordings as well as all of the other session recordings at CACRAO.org. Thank you everyone so much.